toys, the same old bag of notes. Wouldn't you like something new to rock out with? This is it. See your Oldsmobile here.
Guess who's back? Who's here? Is that you?
That's me.
That's you.
I'm back.
Rocket Radio here. DrJay, Jason Heintz, as always, my co-host. Mobile Steve Minore, cas-am Performance. Rocket Report Steve, back up here in the lovely North.
Brutal.
After getting back from Barrett, Jackson, West Palm, baby. I saw you on TV. Yeah, I did.
I didn't look thin this time.
That's all right. That was 2 years ago. Last time I got a good picture of you with Miss Christy Lee.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we put up a tweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. Check out cas-am Performance on Twitter. And we put up a picture from Mohegan because she was looking for a Flashback Friday hashtag while she was doing a broadcast. We put up a picture with Steve and cas-am Performance with Christy Lee, and she retweeted it. Nice pic. Next thing we know, 5,000 people liked the photo.
Nice. It was a good picture.
One of the great memories from this weekend, I'm sure.
Yeah.
What else, bro? How was it?
It was pretty amazing. Obviously the weather was perfect. It wasn't humid at all.
It
was a
wasn't
nice
Connecticut crap.
Oh, man, not even close. Not even close. It was nice. It was really, really nice to get away and see some superb cars, nicely restored. Some not really, some good, some misrepresented, some not misrepresented. But a whole plethora of different stuff, especially the Staluppi collection. That was pretty cool.
I was going to get into that and the Staluppi collection because, we did a little a preview in episode 3.
Right.
And I wanted to get you on the hook for some predictions.
Yeah, so you want to start out with that already?
Yeah, we're going right into that. Barrett Jackson, Palm Beach, 2018. Right. And, let's see here. Where did we go? Saturday we had the, let's go right into it. That's the Staluppi Bamboo and Black 72 W30 convertible.
Yes.
I had you on the hook with a prediction. This is where I screwed up. I gave you a $20,000
lead. Please, give me
a
break.
And you said 100, so plus or minus 20. I gave you on that one. That one sold for $80,000 with fees, $88,000.
Yeah, with the VIG, 88.
Yeah, $88,000.
It was a cool car. Original W30X code, original block. Some of the other components were missing. The biggest thing with that car was the transmission. It wasn't original. Remember I told you
we
when
talked
I said
about this. We said, without knowing, without looking at it.
Exactly what this car is. It's going to be really hard for me to shoot from the hip.
Right.
To know what
I
it
just
may
wanted
sell
you
for.
on the hook with what the descriptions said.
Other than that, it was pretty decent. It wasn't a show car by any means, but it wasn't a piece of junk.
So let's say there was
a driver quality
to that car. Do you see plus or minus what?
10.
10.
Yeah.
10.
Yeah.
So not significant enough.
Yeah, enough. I mean, because that makes a big difference.
Sure.
But you're never going to take away that car from being a W30 because the X in the VIN code.
So it's legit.
Yeah, and they even made a comment about that. They did on Barrett about that. In 72 was the first year that they actually put the engine code in the VIN number.
For the W30s.
Yeah.
Okay.
And other engine tranny combinations as well. U code is big block 455 with a turbo 400. V code is 455 with a 4-speed combination. So all you got to do is look at the VIN number and you know what motor combination is in it. Honestly, I don't know the combination numbers, the combination letter for a small block in that particular year. So let's say you had a 354 barrel. I don't know what the
we're
letter
jumping
code
right
is.
into it tonight.
I'm sorry. I'm just saying.
No, listen. People need to know this. You know, the Rocket Report, Rocket Radio.
I can
Steve
tell
Minore,
you
here, it's coming.
That's it. I can tell you that there is a person that's very well versed in the V codes. Now the V code 455 4-speed transmission. That's Terry Divalbus. He's a good friend of mine out of Pennsylvania, and he's got a registry for those particular cars.
Top of your head, you know how people can get in touch with him?
Terry Divalbus.
There you go. Right on Facebook, right?
He's on Facebook.
Yep.
I don't know his phone number off the top of my head.
Shoot Steve an email. What's the email?
cas-am Performance. CASAM Performance at sbcglobal.net.
That's right. Shoot Steve a quick email. We'll get you that contact.
I can give you that contact information for Terry. Like I said, he's got a registry for the V codes, but he would know the engine codes for the small blocks,
cool,
and the trannies and stuff like that. So.
Awesome. You predicted that car pretty close.
Yeah.
Nice car.
It was decent. It was, they even said
not
it's
a concourse car.
Yeah, they even said it on when they were commentating on it when it was on the auction block.
I missed that one on Saturday.
Driver quality.
Okay, driver quality.
Steve McGente said it's driver quality because you can look under the hood and everything's all black or everything's all blue. It's not detailed enough. Some of that picture stuff you can see on the website, but to really get an idea of what these cars and the quality and caliber of the restorations, you really got to be there.
You got to be there.
If you're interested in buying. If you're going there just for the walk around and the car show and cruise night.
It's a spectacle.
It is. And you can't even imagine the people there.
Well,
and
I could. But some of our listeners who haven't been to a Barrett Jackson event,
I think it's
ridiculous.
It's something you need to experience, but keep in mind, if you're not a bidder, there's certain areas you can't go.
Yeah, it is a different world. We talked about that, I believe, in episode 2, maybe 3, where
when we were talking about it here in Mohegan.
Experienced.
Yeah,
well, I did. My first Barrett.
I was
top
too.
shelf.
That was
your first. Top shelf.
Yeah,
totally spoiled.
Skybox, food, the whole
Catered
9
the
yards,
whole
walk anywhere you want, anytime you want. That was just, like you said,
there is something,
spoiled.
Spend a couple bucks, even if you're not going to bid or buy anything, put your bank account on the line, get a bidder's pass, even if you're not going to bid, just so you can get that full access experience. It's worth it.
It's a good time. What the heck is that?
That's our little device over there that's talking, because we got something special coming up tonight.
Power on.
She
doesn't know what the hell she wants to do.
You know what? Keep talking. I gotta turn her off.
Turn her off. Well, all right.
Because I'm good at turning women off. All right, I'm back. That's our little device here in DrJay studio tonight, because we got possibly something special coming up in a little bit.
That's a Surrey speaker.
Yeah, we won't talk about that. All right, moving on. That was the bamboo one, 674. Go on Barrett Jackson. They do have the results of everything.
Yeah,
and
but
you'll
keep in mind those have the fee in it.
So if you're good at math like I am, you can figure out what the 10% VIG was. And like we said, the lot 674 will show at 88 grand. That one's easy to figure out that's sold for 80 grand. 80 grand, 10%, 8,000. Add that to 80, get 88. That's what the Barrett Jackson price is showing. So keep that in mind.
That's correct.
So going down, also on Saturday, we had, what did we have? 736. That was the 71 W30 convertible. The Saturn black. Oh, excuse me, Saturn gold in black.
Yep.
And you put a big number on that one. You said $150K for that one.
Again.
And
based on shooting
from the description, that one went for still big bucks. $110,000 with fees, $121,000.
That car didn't have the original block or the tranny, so that's a big hit.
That's big dollars.
And it still went for over 100. That's
non-original motor, non-original tranny, still sold for 110.
Right. That was a very nicely restored car. Actually, the day I was traveling down there, I got some inside scoop on that car of who owned it years ago and where it came from. It came from a Mecum auction.
You guys didn't make a play for that car or anything like that?
No, because it didn't fit in any other people that I talked to. A couple other of my clients down there didn't want it either because of the engine and transmission. Original stuff missing. I got to add something.
Okay.
And I'm probably going to get in trouble, but people need to know.
Send an email if Steve's in trouble.
All right, I'm not going to get in trouble. It had a broadcast card. It was a true statement, okay? But it was so mudded up in the corner where you see the body number to correlate it to the car that if somebody asked me to authenticate that car, I couldn't do it.
You'd have to do a rocket like an opinion letter.
Yeah, an opinion letter or whatever.
Which is a great segue to what I'm going to talk about next. But
course.
Keep going.
But so, the paint code was there that matched the car. The interior color and the bucket seats matched the car. 970, I believe it was. The color code was 53, and the top was A, which is black. That all I could read legible, and the magic box W30. So it was an authentic broadcast card, but I couldn't tie that broadcast card to the car. So again, that's just some of my clients.
It's just that one step over for just authenticating versus opinion.
Yeah, I've had to step away and say, hey, I can do the rocket report, but I can give you an opinion letter based on my knowledge and my database that it could be a W30, but without GM paperwork
perfect. And lot 421, we're getting there.
Wow.
And This was the red and black
70
W30, which we talked about in the last episode, that had your name on it, the Rocket Report. And we talked about the difference about that, where it was authentication versus an opinion letter. And that's why I say this is a great segue. Right. This car sold for big bucks on Friday.
Mega money.
130 grand
plus the
with fees is 143,000.
That's big money.
And,
that's big money for a car. Bottom line, no broadcast card. So
one thing I asked you, said, is there a chance? Do you think you're going to get on stage for this? Do you think they're going to pull you up? And I'm watching Friday. I'm like, here it is. I turn the TV up and I'm looking all around in the audience, and I text Stevie. He's like, no, I'm down in the audience. We'll talk later, and I'll let him tell you.
Basically, I got there and I found the car, and I was talking to the guys from Hendrick Motorsports. That's who owned the car. It was a pleasure to meet the guys, and they said, look, we're going to have you go up on stage with the car and talk about it. We'd appreciate it. And I said, yeah, that's cool, whatever. I don't know. My mind just started rolling, and I just got this pit in my stomach to say, if I go up on stage and somebody sees me on stage speaking about that car, what's going to happen? They're going to assume that it's a fully authenticated car with my Rocket Report, which it has, but I did not certify and authenticate that car as being a W30. It's all in the choice of words. It's all in the ad of how they've written it up. It's very, very specific. And I got to be serious about this because this is my reputation on the line. If I went up on stage, and trust me, I wanted to go back on that stage so bad.
Well, of course.
So bad.
This was your moment.
This is Barrett Jackson. I could have talked about the car. The thing is, that car did not have a broadcast card. And if I went on stage and I said anything about that car being an authentic W30 without a broadcast card, it would have been done in plain English.
Well, yeah, because the folks bidding at that point would have been like, okay, this is legit, and the prices would have gone
even
ridiculous.
If he read and said, I did not document, I didn't authenticate
even the other
car.
way, and you had to be careful, because even if you worded it the correct way, like you're saying, oh, hi, I'm Steve Minore, cas-am Performance, authenticator of the Rocket Report, and one thing about this car is blah, 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 doesn't have whatnot.
Right.
You could have tanked the auction.
Absolutely.
For the person consigning that car, and you would have been blackballed to all high hell.
Right, but 90% of the people...
By some good friends of yours.
Well, look, they would have saw me on stage speaking about the car, and they would have instantly thought the car was a real W30. And I can't have that. No. I can't. This Oldsmobile world is just too tightly knit. One car like that I speak about, or anything, or I give a little bit of light to, it's going to bite me.
I don't think the Hendrick boys can be upset with that sell price. 130
definitely
grand, 143
not.
With fees. So,
and I talked to them about that. I said, look, I don't
want
to go up
really
there.
Well, I'm sure.
They had to be very happy. Can't disclose the number that they paid prior.
Absolutely.
It was not even close to 130.
Didn't want to put you on the hook on that.
No,
one.
But that was like, holy cow! Look at this car taking off. But
You're
I could look
burping.
at.
What'd you have for dinner?
I don't know. Who the heck knows?
Eggplant.
Eggplant. It was good.
You got Aja to talk about this
that's
car.
All right. I did. See that? That's unbelievable because that's important to me.
Absolutely.
That's important to me.
Right.
I don't want to have
building the
a
brand.
Perception. No disperception, if that's a word. You know what I mean?
Well, okay. This
Whatever.
is a Steve-ism. We're going to write that down.
Whatever.
We're going to add that
I don't
probably
remember
to
what
the
the hell
Burnout
I even
Box.
said.
We're going to do something called Steve-isms.
I wanted to say something else here, and I just don't remember what that was.
It's okay. No, I totally get it. One thing when I set you up and we were getting really personal about who is Steve and what your goals are and where do you want to take this, and I had said to you, point blank, are you willing to put your name on the line as you're building this brand if it's going to, break someone's heart or ruin someone's livelihood or ruin someone's auction or sell value? And you're like, absolutely, if it's this, absolutely, if it's that, if it's not correct and someone wants me to stamp it, I'm not going to. It's not worth the $1,000, $2,000, my name, my reputation, where I'm trying to take this.
Right.
And I think that says a lot about the word. Your word really you're looking for is integrity, is where you're going.
Because I'm just starting, to be honest with you. I've been doing this for a long period of time, but at this level, no.
You can't make a mistake now.
No.
Right.
No.
You're on what I like to call a tipping point, where you're right there. Every one of these events that come up, your name's getting more and more. Like you're getting ink and you're getting mentions, and we're doing our rocket, our rocket radio right here, and the podcast is really picking up steam. Where we're getting 100 new followers every time we do this, and it's getting shared, and we're tracking where it's going, and more Oldsmobile Facebook pages are sharing it and sending emails, and I'm not even blowing smoke up our listeners' asses here. This thing is really starting to steamroll.
It is.
It's amazing what just something like this where, we're just two guys just having fun.
That's exactly
talking about your passion. You use that word over and over again.
I know.
Is that just this little thing that we're doing here, Rocket Radio, is another step in this brand building that you're up to. So, a couple things when we were prepping, those are the ones that I wanted to hit. Because we talked about those in episode 3. What else did you see? Any lots that caught your eye? Anything out there that...
There was one car that I saw there that I didn't see in the lineup. And,
you can't see in the lineup, and people can't hear you either. As always,
sorry.
You're walking away from that microphone.
Come on, man. I got to
sit up.
My belly's sticking out. What the hell? This car was a car that went on Saturday. It was lot number 648.1, a 1972 442 convertible. Viking blue. What am I saying? Twilight. That's 70. 72. It was Viking blue, white interior, white top, I believe. A factory U code car means 442, big block, turbo 400 transmission, right in the VIN. And this car was beautiful. Air conditioning, pinstripe correctly, all the right colors underneath the hood. Really nice piece. Numbers matching motor. I got a picture of the VIN number. I mean, I didn't get under and look at the tranny, but it was up high. Everything was detailed nice. It was a nice car. And I think that car went like 90 without the VIG. That was a really nice car.
So for all our mathematicians at home, if it's $90,000, 10% would have been $9,000. That makes it $99,000 on the Barrett Jackson with fees.
Yeah. I want to say maybe 91 or 92, maybe.
Still under 100.
Whatever. That was an unexpected car.
Do you know who had it? Who consigned it? Who bought it?
Nope.
Who built it?
Nope. Nothing.
It just caught your eye.
Yep. There was no description on it. Like I have the picture on my phone here. It's just got it's got a little sticker on the windshield of the lot number and Saturday. That was it. And then some
hopefully
barcode.
One of our listeners out there know who got that car.
Yeah, I don't.
What was the lot number on Saturday?
What was it? 648.1.
All right, so if anyone goes on to Barrett Jackson's website, goes to the results for Palm Beach 2018, check out that lot number. Maybe it's a friend, an aunt, an uncle, a college former
somebody
roommate,
you know,
somebody
whatever.
You know. Get them in touch with Steve at his email, which is
cas-am Performance. It's CASAM Performance at sbcglobal.net.
There you go. So that's kind of our little recap of some of those we talked about. Any other ones that really call you, or are we good here? Because Tech Talk's a little light tonight. I only got a couple things I want to do because I'm planning on that little device over there making some noise a little bit.
It will.
All right.
It will.
All right.
There was a couple highlights, other highlights that I'd like to just touch upon.
Yeah, one video you showed me a little while ago.
We'll wait for it at the end.
All right. Not that kind of video.
No, not that kind of video. I got early access to the Staluppi collection. So we got there like 8 o'clock. You're not supposed to be in there before 8 o'clock. We got in there before 7:45. We knew one of the guys, so he let us in. Just think about it. If you're at a car show or you're at an auction or whatever, and you see all these guys climbing all over this car or whatever, it's not really good etiquette. So they like to have people like me that are inspecting cars to come in before the public comes in. And that's what we did. We went around. I looked probably at 5 or 6 Oldsmobiles within a half hour just to kind of get a gist of what each one was prior to the regular crowd coming in, and that was pretty cool.
But did he have his own section in the
Yeah, he did. He had a whole tent just as his cars. He had some pretty exotic stuff. He had like a circus. It was like a Model A Ford with like a circus thing in the back where you would see a lion in and had the posts and everything in it. It was pretty freaking wild.
So he
had a good humor truck. Hold on. We didn't even. It was a 1966 Ford because my father at the garage had a 66 Ford tow truck. So I had the same nose. It was either 66 or 67. The freaking thing went for $100K. It was a good humor truck.
Wow.
$100K, dude. Can you believe it? Joe's Ice Cream. He was flipping over in his grave.
Joe's Ice Cream.
Oh, my God, from North Haven. Come on,
absolutely.
man. He used to come all the time to my grandmother's.
Great guy. There was a story on one of the local Facebook pages in North Haven about Joe's Ice Cream.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. So anyway, so that
I
thing's
may have to
$100K.
put up that picture right here.
Yeah, we'll get it in there.
Right there. There's Joe.
All right. He had a slew of like 50s and 60s convertibles.
You know, he talked about that when I told you on, it was either Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah, they did a couple half-hour shows.
And they showed his thing. He had big wood for convertibles.
Yeah.
In that museum was like a faux drive-in theater and the malt shop.
Well,
and
all the Oldsmobiles in his collection were all convertibles that he sold at this auction. You know that, right?
Oh, yeah. No, I saw a bunch. Late 50s and...
Yeah,
and,
but I'm talking like 66 to 72.
The muscle stuff was convertible, too.
He had a 68 442 convertible.
Yep.
Not Bamboo. I forget.
No, the Bamboo was the 72.
Right. No, this was saffron yellow. 1968 442 convertible, 3-speed manual transmission. That's the one with the Ford. Remember we talked about it? All right, he had that. He had a 66 442 convertible. That was a good friend of mine here in Connecticut. That was purchased at Mohegan. Went to Stolupi. He resold it here. 69 442 convertible, black 4-speed. That went for big money. Little controversy on Facebook about that, going back and forth. That's crazy money for a 442, just a 442 convertible. Whatever, I'm not going there right now. 1970. What did he have? Yeah, he had a 70 442 convertible. It was actually a color change. It was Bamboo to Sebring yellow. That car went over 100,000. Did he have a 71? Yeah, he had a 71 black 442 convertible, 4-speed car, Ram Air, window sticker, everything. Again, that car went over 100, and then the 72. So everything is pretty much convertible. But he had some nifty stuff. He had a fire truck. He had this little Fiat. It wasn't a Fiat car, but it was like one of the miniature cars. It was like a 2-stroke with a clutch. And I'm saying to the guy, "You dumped the clutch, man. I'm gonna dump the clutch. Dump the clutch." It was cool. There was a lot of neat stuff there. The Burt Reynolds Trans Am. He actually showed up. I'm sure everybody saw that on TV. Got out of the car, made a little speech, got back in. Stolupi bought that for $100K.
Burt Reynolds, legend, man.
Yeah,
and
you know what?
You showed me one of those, and on Twitter, if you follow that string that we did with
Yeah, we're gonna add some new ones on because I don't have a clue how to do this Twitter. I gotta say, Jay's been helping me out with that. That's all right. I gotta get it out there. But the thing is that I didn't even tell you about this, and I waited to tell you. I turn around on stage when I'm in between cars, or whatever, and I turn around and I see Joe Amato.
NHRA Top Fuel legend.
I said, Joe, I watched you all my life. When I was a kid, I watched you all the time. NHRA Racing. Pleasure to meet you. Nice to meet you. Blah, 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 blah. We talked a lot. I said, the last time I saw you, I was in West Palm, maybe 3 or 4 years ago. My friend Jay from Long Island got us early access to their test session that Schumacher and all them guys had in West Palm. And I saw Joe there because he lives in West Palm. I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
So we talked a little bit about that. And he goes, yeah, I used to enjoy that. We lost that. We lost it. Now they do all their spring stuff in Arizona. He must be involved with that racetrack over there. Maybe I'm assuming. It was just nice to see him. He looked good.
Legend,
Absolute man.
Legend.
That was like, holy cow, is that really Joe? And you know me. Hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you.
Soon people are gonna be doing that to you. You're Steve Minore.
Yeah.
What else you got? Give me a couple more.
I got the last one.
What's the last one?
Christy Lee. I know one of the cameramen.
You introduced me to him at Mohegan. I remember that. Yeah.
Colin, good guy. I saw him. I've been waiting to see him all day, and I just happened to come up into the pre-load tent before they go in. They have like a where they put maybe a dozen
sponsored
cars.
detailed tent.
Yeah, whatever the hell
ready.
it is. Yeah. Anyway, and I see all these cameras, and all of a sudden, boom, I see the blonde hair, and I'm like, it's Christy Lee. And then all of a sudden, I'm looking around, and I see Colin. So I go over to Colin, I tap him on the shoulder. Now she's waiting. She's not doing anything, just kind of standing next to the car, waiting for her cue. And I said to Colin, I want to talk to you later. How you doing? I tap him on the shoulder. He goes, stick around. She did her thing. It's funny because she started to do her thing and talk about the W30 convertible, and the freaking guy next to her starts up the car.
In the middle of the...
Yeah, come on, dude. Really?
On
so
purpose,
I'm surprised that...
Move. Whatever.
Well, whatever. I'm just very surprised that the Barrett people didn't, pick up on that and say, oh, wait for 30 seconds while she does her thing before you start
that's all those are.
Car.
Those are 45 to 60-second lead-ins.
Yeah, it was a quick lead-in. That's what it was. So she spoke. She came over to Colin, and he said, I'd like to have you meet my buddy Steve. I said, I've been waiting for a while to meet you. I said, I saw you at Mohegan.
You dropped the ball right here, and I told you this later.
I don't want to think I'm a stalker.
And say, my buddy Jay. I'm the Steve that my buddy Jay put up the picture.
No, that's not me.
Oh, my God, let's go out for pizza.
No. I'll bring you to Pepe's. Get on the plane. Really nice, easy to talk to, just a true car girl in a sense, but her real passion is bikes.
Oh yeah, when there was that Indian Scout that was up there, and
Yes.
and I think there was that Coca-Cola 3-wheeler.
There was a 43 Harley.
Oh, and she is just
Yeah.
beep bop boop 1 2
loves
3
that.
XYZ.
And I talked to her
just
about that. And
amazing.
that's what kind of like. I said, I know you're into bikes. I was into, older muscle bikes, but, now I got kids. So when the kids came, the bikes went, you know what I mean? So she goes, yeah, I know what you're saying. So I just haven't really figured out how old she is. You know what I mean? I want to just say.
Don't even do this. Don't even do.
Why?
Don't. No, we're not
No,
going to
I'm
go
not.
there.
I'm just curious to know how old she is. That's all. That's all it means. What does it mean?
Christy Lee, we're of course I'm going to tag you in this when we put this up on cas-am Performance's Twitter, and hopefully we can get a reply out of you.
Look, I can go online. I can go online and look, but it'd be nice if I go to Mohegan and she kind of recognizes me and says hello. That's
right.
all.
Like,
That's
get you on camera. Hey, here's Steve Minore from
She probably
Rocket
can't do
Report,
that. She
Rocket
can't
Radio.
do that.
No, they probably can't do
She
plugs.
can't do any plugs like that.
But that would be
Nothing.
pretty cool.
That was
Awesome.
nice because I didn't expect to be able to. I probably talked with her 2 or 3 minutes. She wasn't pushing me away. She was very, she wasn't pressed for time or whatever. We had a good conversation, and that was that. That was the icing on the cake.
So there's our Barrett Jackson recap.
Yeah, I just feel that there's something else that I
Well,
left
maybe we can
off.
plug it in later if that device makes some noise, and we can get a third party in this room today.
I do want to recap on something that we went over last week that you kind of like threw at me.
What did I throw at you?
The 6 cars in my garage.
Oh, all right.
I want to change a little bit. I want to add one.
All right, add one. Go ahead. Wait, hold on. I got to recap what we said here. We had an Oldsmobile something, a stick something, a Ferrari that's round, red, and fast. I think at the end we rolled in that you want to take Emilio Giano's Duster, maybe,
And Frank's W30
and
convertible,
Frank's
maybe.
W30. All right, go ahead. So substitute one in. What do you want?
Eleanor.
Oh, the Mustang.
Hell yeah.
Like the new one, or do you want like
the one from the movie?
68,
The one from the movie.
the Nicolas Cage car.
Absolutely, the one he drove and beat up, and not the one he jumped in.
There's the company in Connecticut. What is it, Mustangs Unlimited or whoever it was?
I don't know who.
They were building those like legit 68 Eleanor cars.
Were they? I had no idea.
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Powerball.
Yeah.
Play with Powerball.
I'll be over there.
All right, so that was from last week's, little
Had to add that in there.
an
Sorry.
addendum to last week's Burnout Box.
All right.
Tech Talk's quick tonight.
Okay.
Because we're getting a lot of new listeners, and folks aren't as well versed in what we're talking about.
Right.
And sometimes we go kind of off the deep end, and we start getting super technical, and we talk about a couple things more than once. And I just want you to break down really quick. What is the difference between, this is just simple stuff, probably common knowledge to a lot of people, but what we talked about in episode 1, and this is why I bring this back, is we have to get some younger folks into this game.
Absolutely.
We need to get some folks our age into the game. We just have to get folks that aren't into cars, whether they're too young or they're starting to get some disposable income. Like you said, you're like, oh, that I fell in love with the car, the Ram Air Hood. I'm just
Right.
If people start getting sucked into here,
Right.
what makes a W30 a W30? What makes a W31 a W31? And 2 others on there, W32.
Oh, Jesus.
And a W33. Now, you're the W Machine W30 31 guy. Run it right down. What's a W30? 68 72. What's a W31 and 68 69 and 70?
W30 was the high engine horsepower option to a 442. You could not get that on any other model but a 442. The W30 was the high output engine option. And it came with a certain amount of things.
The distributor.
Yeah, intake, red wheel wells, hood, sport mirrors.
It sounds like we're
no,
saying
we're talking
the same
70.
Thing. That's right.
We're talking
That's
70.
where I was going with
See, in
this.
66, they didn't have sport mirrors. 66, they made 54 W30. 67, they increased the production a little bit. They made it in stick and an automatic. In 66, I don't believe they made it in an automatic. It was only stick.
And you just know that stuff. That's not your thing, and that's not what Rocket Report
Right,
necessarily
that's kind of
is
common
about.
knowledge.
You just know that.
Common knowledge.
So when you get into the small block stuff in the W31, and something we're going to be talking about, we mentioned last episode your good friends down at Garner Customs and Restoration, because your W31 is getting done up, and it's got a deadline on it for McCacken.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
More gray
Muscle
hairs I'm
Car,
gonna have.
Corvette Nationals in
Yep.
Chicago in November. Your car is getting unveiled.
Yes.
And a quick
In the
reminder,
Gardner
what was
booth.
yours? W31, what year?
1970. Gold, black stripes, 4-speed. All
Awesome.
vinyl top.
All right. So is there a
Cool
difference
piece.
between a 68, 69, and a 70 W31?
The 68, I'm going to speak.
And I'm not talking about just straight up physical appearance body because that's obvious.
68 was the first year. It was called the Ramrod 350. And they made 600 and something of those. And they were all manual transmission cars.
Every one of them.
Not automatic. The first year they offered an automatic W31 was in 1969.
So is there anything in drivetrain that transferred up to 1969?
Pretty much everything. The body was different. So I had the same air cleaner. They both still had the cast iron intake manifolds, same compression ratio, same head casting number 5. They still retained the same harmonic balancer, W31 only. Same transmission, pretty much combinations, but they added the automatic, so that added some other rear end ratios, such like that, cooling systems. The 69 had the stripes on the hood. The 68 had no stripe on the hood. The scoops are different on a 68 than 69. They're a little different shape. The air cleaner itself is just a little different. You really can't tell when it's on the car. And we can go into that down the road a little bit when we start dissecting each year and all the components that are affiliated with the Ramrod and W31
We're going to
stuff.
start getting
and I've
really
got to talk
deep.
to some of my really deep W31 guys, especially the Ramrod stuff, which I know about, but there's actually a couple guys on this planet that have bought 68 Ramrods, brand new, and they still own them. And I believe one of them, the anniversary, was today or yesterday. This guy bought a brand new Ramrod,
Wow.
W31,
Original
back in
owner.
1968 on April 19th, 5:30 p.m. He took delivery of the car. It's pretty wild.
So now 69 to 70, small block to small block.
69, that was pretty much the same as a 68. Like I said, the body style was different. The scoops were different. This is different a little bit, but nothing major. 70 was the biggest difference because now you got, dual sport mirrors. You got the ram air hood. There's no scoops underneath. Now you have the first year where they had ram air on the hood scoops. Side stripes on the hood. Aluminum intake manifold. The first and only year that they had aluminum intake on the W31. They didn't have aluminum intake on the 68-9. It was cast iron. 4-barrel, yes. All of them had dual exhaust. All of them had, manual transmission. Like I said, except for 69 when they had available a turbo 350, and they also carried that over into 1970 also, too. You could get it automatic.
I mean, one thing that I looked up going back to the W30 is I did not know that went all the way up. And I know this isn't your thing, but there's just so much stuff in that egg of yours that the W30 name carried all the way up to 1980. And I didn't know that.
But it wasn't a 455.
Well, of course.
It was a 350. That was like a W30 emblem on the side of a Hearstall.
And that's what? That's the whole G-body thing when it got up into that.
Well, I don't know if that was called the G-body in 79. The G-body, I think, started in 81 when it had that, slanted nose. You had 79 and 80 had that, flat nose, single headlight or a double headlight with that, waterfall nose, waterfall grills, they call it.
You know who we have to get on the Rocket Radio for that?
I know who's going to know about that.
Who's going to know about that?
Frank.
We're going to get Frank on there. So, looking at this the old defunct, look at that. You're blowing up the friggin'
I love
blowing
it.
up the microphone.
Look at the green over there,
It's
baby.
crazy.
It's big. It's big.
So, there's an old website. It's not online anymore, but I have a way of finding defunct websites. I have a program, an archive program that will actually let me search out websites that are gone. Wow. It actually took snapshots, and I'm not going to give that up on Rocket Radio because that's like one of my little super secret squirrel things. But there was mentions on this website, 442.com. It's not there anymore. The website's gone.
Well, it is there, but sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down.
That's
I don't
right.
know. But it's there now.
It hasn't been there, and it's been
there.
down. Since we started this, it's been down.
You sure?
But I was able to pull it back up.
Okay, all
so
right.
as of recording tonight, it was down. Earlier this week, it was down.
Yeah, sometimes they shut it down when they're updating the wanted ads.
Something I saw in there, and you never mentioned it, and I never knew it. There was a W32 in 69 and 70, and a W33 in 70. What the hell are those?
I'm not well versed on the 32. Believe
That's
it
why
or
we're
not.
doing this.
I'm not well versed. W32 came out. The first ones came out in 1969, and it was an automatic. You couldn't get it into a stick. It was kind of a milder W machine. Now, people are going to say, well, I know exactly what it is. It had a different cam and had different this, different that. A W32 was still something that was available on a 442 as an option, engine option in 1969. It had the same ram air cleaner, had the same ram air scoops. It didn't have red wheel wells, though. But I know there was some little differences in the engine. I honestly don't remember. I don't think it had D heads. I think it had a different camshaft in it, but it was a milder W machine. It was not a W30. It was a step down. It was still a big block, but it was called a W32. So maybe we can get some people on that can tell me
what is it?
What this thing
What's
is.
the email?
Exactly.
What's the email?
cas-am Performance. CASAM Performance at sbcglobal.net. Email me and let me know what the hell a W32 is. In details,
We'd love
I know what it is, but I want
a network.
I want to be able to put out the right information.
That's right. And even if Steve needs someone to reach out to for reference,
we'll have you
bring
on.
them on board, bring you
Bring
on
you
here
right
at
on.
Rocket Radio, like
We need it
the folks from Garner. They knew that you were the go-to guy. They reached out to you. You authenticated that car for them, and there's a
Help
reason
them with
why.
The car. Sure.
So anybody out there, W32, if you have
69 and 70
if you have some knowledge or a database or have one, drop Steve a line, man.
Right.
Connect
Let's get
somehow.
this. I want to do a segment on W32s because it's kind of cloudy for me. I
Yeah.
know what they are, but I don't know the details. Like
and we
I
don't know the
W30.
rarity of them. Do you know?
They're very rare.
Okay. And
very
then
rare.
moving up, what about the 33 in 1970?
That was.
Is that going to be even more foggier?
It is a little bit, but I believe the W33 was an option on a full-size Delta 88 or 98 with the 455. It was the high-output 455 in a bigger car. Don't quote me on that.
Like what?
Like a Delta 88 or a 98.
The
big cars.
The big boats.
Now, I know in 1970 they also made a Tornado with this W option in it as well. And I don't remember. That might be the W33 or I believe there was a W34. I'm trying to remember now. You got me boggled.
That's good. That's what I do in Tech Talk.
You got me boggled here, man.
I'm waiting for that device over there.
I know.
We may have someone knocking on the door tonight.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm hoping.
It'll happen.
You think?
Yeah.
You sure?
I know so.
What else do you want to talk about tonight?
I don't know. What's on your notepad?
I have a lot on my notepad. I really do.
How much more you want to give these people?
I have a lot. I mean, this is going to be a long episode tonight.
Oh, man. I hope we don't bore these people.
No, we're not going to bore these people.
All right. I don't want them to be gone.
What do you mean gone? These people love you. These are your people. Rocket Radio, Rocket Report, cas-am Performance, Mobile Steve, Steve Minore, DrJay, Jason Heintz, right here, broadcasting from DrJay Studios.
Yes.
See, that's all you got to do. Just got to turn on the voice.
Yeah, you got it.
And it sucks them right back in.
That's right.
Because you know what? We're going to flip things around because I know that thing is going to be knocking and dinging soon. So you know what we're going to do?
Yep.
We're flipping things around right now. We're going to the Burnout Box!
Nice.
The Burnout Box! The
You're
Burnout
crazy.
Box. We're doing things out of order tonight.
It's all right.
Because I'm anticipating a special guest tonight.
We're going to get him.
Chill. I hope it happens.
Chill out, dude.
Burnout Box tonight, brought to you by, I don't know.
Whatever.
I'm looking around my room. Frank Palmieri on Palmieri Auto Sales.
Yeah.
There you go, Frank. I hope you're listening.
There's a plug for you, Frank.
This one's going out to you.
That and the cats.
All right. And the Dunkin' Donut cups. All right. Burnout Box for all those folks tuning in for the first time. And go back to our YouTube page, DrJay0, DrJay, just the number 0. Scroll on down. Check out. We are up to episode 4.
Wow.
Catch up. Check them out. Listen to them all. And go on Stevie's, pages. He's a cas-am Performance on Facebook, cas-am Performance on Twitter, Stephen Minore on Facebook, Minore.
Yeah.
And here we go. This is going to be a fun one tonight.
All right. What do we got?
Because the Burnout Box, person, place, thing,
right,
vibe,
I'm
story, I don't care.
You're going to try to baffle me again like you did last week? 6 cars in your garage.
No, I'm not going to do that. Your
Jesus.
stomach is rumbling tonight, so I think this will be funny.
Okay.
What was the best meal out you've ever had? Yeah.
Jesus.
Right? If you were to ask me this question, I can tell you in 2 seconds. You'd be like, bing, and I can tell you.
I've eaten at so many different places.
Well, are you a steak guy?
No, Italian.
So you even love eating Italian out.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So let's focus on that. Best Italian meal out you've ever had. Even if you don't remember the restaurant name, where was it? What did you have?
I want to say my 2 best Italian meals here in Connecticut would either be,
Doesn't even have to be in Connecticut.
Well,
anywhere.
Let's stick in Connecticut.
All right, keep
for
it
a
local.
Because then Well, number one, Fratelli's in Wallingford. That place is phenomenal. Broccoli Robin sausage is very good. I mean, unbelievable. It's good. I'm going to go there right now and get some.
No.
On the way home. Anyway, and my second choice for Italian would be Michael's Trattoria on the hill in Wallingford.
Center Street.
Yeah, really good.
Right near Jake's.
Yeah, good place.
Sure.
Recently, I ate at a place in West Haven for Italian. It was Lorenzo's. And let me tell you something.
Not familiar.
That place blew me away. Unreal.
What'd you have?
I don't remember. You know what I had? I had chicken parm, like I have every goddamn place.
You know, that's kind of funny that you said chicken parm, because anytime I go out to a new Italian place, it's always chicken parm, because that's how I gauge the place if I'm going to go back.
You know, the owner came out, Lorenzo, go figure.
Yeah, right.
Really nice guy. He introduced me, a friend of mine, Vinny, another Italian guy, has always wanted me to go down there and have dinner. So I finally called him one night and said, hey, you know, I'm going out with some friends and my fiance. Well, a couple couples are going down there. Are you going to be there? He goes, I'm there every day. So I came down there. We all met. I haven't seen him in a while. It was nice to see him. And then he had Lorenzo come out and say, hey, how you doing? Whatever. He gave us a couple appetizers. Hey, how you doing? How you doing?
Lorenzo's West Haven.
Oh, man. I'm getting hungry, dude. Is there any
Yeah?
Italian food right now?
I could wake the wife up, because you know what? If I wake the wife up right now, you know she'll whip up 2 pounds of macaroni.
Then I'll be here until
now.
3 in the morning eating all the macaroni down to the
Which is
nothing.
funny that you say macaroni, because it's kind of a food-themed second question.
All right,
I'm
ready.
Put you on the spot,
All right.
Mr. Italian Steve.
Oh, jeez.
Sunday sauce or Sunday gravy?
Sauce. I never used the gravy word.
You don't use the gravy word.
Nope.
This
sauce.
is a big dividing topic
sauce.
here.
I never call sauce gravy, and gravy goes on turkey.
Okay, so you're of that
That's
camp.
in me. That's
it.
me.
All right.
That's me.
Because there's the other camp that's, Sunday gravy is sauce when it's made with the meat starter.
Nope.
Then technically it's gravy.
No.
You're not that guy.
No way. Hell no.
So if you go back to your grandmother and, way
never
back
used the word gravy there either.
It was always Sunday dinner, Sunday supper, Sunday sauce.
Yeah, with the meatballs cooking in the grease in the morning.
Your
on Sunday
sauce
morning.
all the way.
My grandfather or grandmother were cooking them on the stove.
All right. So the last one's going to throw people for a loop, because I'm looking at, I don't even know what I'm looking at right there. I'm looking, what is that?
I don't know. What are you looking at?
I
can't tell what you're
looking
at.
Your nuts right now, because you're so spread eagle in front of me in the studio.
I'm relaxed, man. What do you want from me?
I got option A and option B, so I'm going to write this for all the ladies listening out there. Steve, do you ride the soap or use a washcloth?
Washcloth.
There you go. Good boy. So that does it for the Burnout Box tonight. That's it. The phone didn't ring. The door didn't knock.
It's all right. It will.
That's going to do it tonight.
All right.
You know what? We're just going to have to push that off to episode 5.
Okay.
So we did it again.
Unbelievable, huh?
I know, right? We had to flip things around tonight. We did the Burnout Box. We were hoping to get... Wait. What's that? Who's that? Ken! Are you here?
He's here. Is he here?
Is he here? I heard it.
Yes.
Oh, my God. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, Rocket Radio fans, this is where we insert applause on the Bluetooth, calling in remotely tonight. Ken Garner, folks. Ken Garner from Garner Customs and Restoration. Ken, it's an honor. What's going on, my man?
How you guys doing tonight up there?
Oh, it's awesome. How's it down there in Bradenton?
Can't be better. Can't be better. Living the dream here in paradise,
Oh.
We're not dealing with any snow or any of that stuff you guys got.
Oh, don't even rub that in.
Thanks a lot.
Because we had a little teaser the other day when Stevie came down to see you guys. No, he didn't get to see you. When Stevie was down in West Palm, he was breaking my balls that it was 80 degrees, and we had another dud snowstorm, and it was 20. But Ken, tell me a story here. Garner Customs and Restorations. I was going all over your website at Garner Cars. That's GARNER cars.com, folks. Check them out on there. Tell me a quick story. How did you and Alan get together?
Well, I met Alan by doing some work for him at a property that he owns out here on Anna Maria Island in Florida. We own a painting contracting business as well as the customs and restoration shop, and my adult son runs that business for me, and he just happened to be talking with Alan and tell him that, his dad does cars. And I went out there to just meet him at the end of the job. And we sat on his porch and talked for several hours. And by the time we were done, he had proposed an offer to me that I ever came across a car or something and wanted a partner on it to think of him. And it wasn't long after that I had an opportunity to buy a car I'd been pursuing for a couple of years. And it was an investment that was not cheap to get into. So I thought of Alan and called him up and said, hey, that opportunity has come. Would you like to partner up on this car? And he said, certainly. And that was the car that we ended up taking to the cas-am last year with Steve as our expert consultant. And we did quite well and made a great name for ourselves.
There you go. That's the one that Stevie had mentioned back in episode 3. That one got Gold Award. And what else?
Best Oldsmobile.
Best Oldsmobile, too.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that kind of put you guys on the map, and wow, that's amazing. And then, that's a great segue in how you guys got together with Steve, and something that we were teasing about in episode 2 and last week in episode 3. And Stevie was trying to keep that on the DL. That's the download for our folks, that aren't as hip as some of our younger fans out there. But you guys were up here north boxing up some parts and taking Steve's W31 for another world, getting it ready for November 17th, 18th down in Chicago. Up in Chicago for you.
Yes.
Up in November. Let's get some updates. How's the car coming?
The car's going well. We had the, I don't know if it's the pleasure or the unfortunate task of visiting Connecticut recently to pick up a bunch of parts for Steve's car, as well as a couple others that we're working on. And we're quite excited now that we've got a large supply of stuff. This guy's assortment of parts is like a Toys R Us for car guys.
I've been over the house, and I've seen the basement collection. It's pretty crazy.
It is quite the spectacle. So we were quite fortunate to come up and get enough stuff to really get going on his car. And now that we have that, we're making great strides. Just in the short time, it's been 1 week, but we were able to finally really get close to button up his chassis and put his body on top of it.
Amazing, man.
And once we get to that point,
I wish you could see Stevie's face right now, Ken, because he is glowing like a 10-year-old paper boy.
Well, I understand this has been a long time coming, so I completely can relate to it. I've had cars that I've wanted to do for years and years, and then finally get to it. And we're quite honored that Steve chose us to let us do it. I mean, that's a great statement in itself.
Well, it's just nice that these Ken and his partner Alan and the guys that work for them are really passionate car guys. It's not about the money or the stigma of we're the best in the business, we're best in the country. They just like what they're doing. They enjoy it every day, and they give you a product that you're proud of. You know what I mean? And it's just it's really a dream come true for me. I never thought that this was really happen and my restoration would happen in this way, but things happen for a reason. It wouldn't be happening if I didn't meet these guys in Florida. So I'm very grateful. It blows
my mind.
Very, very grateful.
The tone of your voice just changed. Just talking
serious.
about your car.
Yeah,
this is a long time coming.
It's a very serious thing, and it's very sentimental value. The car's been sitting for a long period of time, and it's deserved this for a long, long time. And
this is awesome.
It was kind of like something we spoke about for a long period of time. It wasn't just like, hey, let's do it. But I got to tell you, once we decided, that was like on a Thursday, was it, Ken? Was it Thursday or a Friday that we decided, okay, your guys are coming up?
Yes. We didn't give you much notice.
Yeah, you didn't give me much notice. I'm like scrambling. I'm scrambling.
About 4 o'clock and said, we're getting in the truck and headed your way.
Yeah, that was 4 o'clock on a Friday. Well, actually, no. You called me at lunch. We talked at lunch, and you said, you need to let me know by 1 o'clock because we're going to be on the road by 3 Friday afternoon. And God strike me dead. They were at my door at 12 o'clock noon on Saturday.
3 hours. Northbound and down, loaded up and trucking.
They were here, man.
Yes, we were. We were on a mission.
It's so great to have you on. We've been talking about you for a month now on Rocket Radio, and it's so great that our fans and Steve's fans and folks just finally get to hear you. And and something you learn about me, Ken, is I always do my research, and I love just putting it out there for our audiences really quick, because we're going to get you on a bunch of times, and I want to keep this nice and tight tonight, is Go into some detail with me about some of the stuff on your website. Like, what's the difference for the average person who has that disposable income? What are we talking about difference in dollars and time and investments and whatnot between your custom level stuff, driver level stuff, and concourse level stuff?
Well, the driver level is the most obtainable for the majority of our, listening audience and the car guys that are out there, and that's your guys that, really want to have that car they had when they were, a teenager or what have you. And, they're looking to get back to that, but they've got, wife, kids, and not a whole lot of disposable income. And that's the ones that, we can find that you don't have to take them to the utmost level of restoration, but you can give them a nice, quality, dependable car that, it wouldn't be a high points car by any means, but at the same token, it's nothing to be ashamed of.
Runs, drives, get you to the market, go to the show, a good 5-10 footer.
Sure. And again, presentation being everything, you don't have to necessarily go to all 100% correct parts or brand new stuff all the way through. You can use a lot of the original stuff and recondition it to acceptable levels of appearance and durability. And at that point, you're able to fulfill the customer's needs, for a car that they want to be able to drive their local car show, not be ashamed to, show it, etc. But it wouldn't be something that you'd see on the floor of a McCacken type show or, something of that nature.
God, cruise night style, still blow people's mind. That's a badass car. I get you.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean, even on our driver levels, we're not going to turn out anything that anybody would be ashamed to say that they spent their hard-earned money doing it.
Sure. And then when we get into like concourse level stuff, and we know that that's where you're going with Steve's W31, but what's involved in the process? Like, how does someone start this? They get in touch with you, info@garnercars.com. They talk to you. Maybe they talk to Alan. How does it start?
Well, that's basically it. They reach out to us and, express to us their desires. And, that's for the customer that really is concerned about achieving a level of restoration that is above 99% of what you'll see out there. These are the cars that literally are trailer queens. You rarely ever would drive them because the level that we're going to is even beyond what the factory would have done. We're going to correct things that they weren't even concerned about. Again, it was production versus where we're at. We want to mimic the production techniques, but we want to give them a higher level of finish so that, it's not something that you go, wow, was that on a Friday afternoon that guy did that? We don't want those kind of things really as part of our restorations. So some of it you have to do in some degree in the spirit of keeping it true to the factory appearance. But we try to just, limit that to a minimum thing. I joke with Steve we're doing some stripes on a W30 right now, and we're having a real hard time finding any consistency among factory original examples.
Man, we got factory blueprints. I've got original fenders. I mean, I've given him all kinds of stuff, and it's like we're just trying to come up with a happy medium that doesn't look like an abomination.
Right, you need a reference, and like this is what we're going with. Then you guys are going to create the standard.
Well, that's what we're kind of getting at, isn't it?
Yes, that's what you're up against.
Right, we want to try to set the bar and make this easy.
The concourse level is the highest degree that you can ask for, and those are the cars that we really enjoy doing the most because that's telling us the customer is more concerned with quality than anything else, and that's kind of where we are centered as well.
Wow. What's the craziest custom you guys have been commissioned to do?
We've done several different, one-off type things where, we want day two appearance, but we're going to take it a little bit further than that. My own personal custom is a 53 Ford panel that I've taken and set it down on an El Camino subframe with a Chevy, power plant. I know that the Ford purists probably hate to hear that we went Chevy powered on a Ford truck, but it was, kind of what was already set up for us when we acquired it. So we just kind of went with that route. But, the customs that we try to do are, whatever the customer really is asking for. I'm not going to the level of a George Barris type modifications per se, but we try to, if somebody's interested in doing a pro touring type, car or something of that nature, we'll sit down and we'll go through, the options and cost of different suspension parts, chassis parts, motors, et cetera, and come up with something that, again, gives them what they're looking for, but fits within their budget and also within, the realm of what's reality. You wouldn't want to put a 9 horsepower engine in a stock frame per se with no modifications.
Right.
You're
the whole
in trouble
that
there.
caviar dreams with
Right.
a tuna fish wallet. Yeah, right.
Exactly. So we just try to steer, the potential customer, to balance all the aspects of the build out for what their needs are and their wants, but also, cost. I mean, because let's face it, that's what can be the biggest factor in
Absolutely.
in any of these.
You got to keep them
cars
honest. People don't realize how expensive things can get, and they have this vision, and you got to open that wallet. And you guys are there. You got to keep them honest. I get it. Yeah.
Yes, and part of it is you get these commercials on TV, et cetera, that they advertise paint jobs that are just several $100s, and that's not reality for us. Even our supplies cost more than that.
Earl Shive.
Mako.
To some of the reality restoration shows, which it's entertainment, folks. It's not reality in the aspect that some of the things that they show really are not factory techniques that were used, or they're not goals that can be achieved. We've seen an episode once where it was like 3 days till an auction and the car wasn't painted, and all of a sudden it's rolling across the auction block.
Yeah, either that's the magic of TV,
That
or
just
that is
doesn't
just
happen,
a mud job.
Yeah. That is not reality, that's for sure.
Not reality. Well, this is awesome. I can't wait to have you back on again.
Yeah.
One more thing I want to get into is, tell the folks about the Muscle Car and Corvette Nationals up in Chicago, and you guys putting together the W31 Invitational.
Yes, we're looking quite forward to this coming up here, the 17th and 18th of November. It's in Chicago, and it is the premier muscle car show in America. If you have any kind of desire to see cars that will absolutely leave you breathless, the cars that are displayed there are one of the greatest collections of rare, desirable, unique, and high-level restorations that could ever be amassed. Bob Ashton has done a magnificent job of putting together a show that any car guy will his jaw will be at the floor most of the time he's there, because no matter where you turn, there's something else that just takes you back down a memory lane of, time where you're going, wow, I remember that, or I had one of those, I saw one of those, I rode one of those. Just a great experience. Last year was our first year there, and we were so enveloped that we decided to really step up, this coming year and be a sponsor. We're fortunate enough to have a W31 that we're going to actually be able to present with part of the show. So timing being everything,
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, we're hinting about Steve's car there. We know, the audience knows. We know the unveil's coming.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, not to let too much out of the bag, but we're looking quite forward to that, to share with the world, a car that, somebody has had since, this gentleman again was, a teenager when he acquired it, and he's kept it all these years, had this dream that, one day I'm going to have this back to its glory. Yeah. And here we are, we're on the verge of, next November, showing that to the world. And we're quite honored to be a part of that. We really are. This is what it's about when you, can take, a car of that nature and bring it back to its original status, and there it is. Wow, I'm all of a sudden I'm in my 20s again, and there's my car.
Yeah.
It's it's something that you just kind of have to go through it to believe it, that dreams do come true.
Yeah.
Oh,
I got no words, man.
Rocket Radio, Steve Minore, our first special guest phone in, Ken
first.
Garner. Thanks, Ken.
I really
Well,
appreciate
thank you for
it.
having me on.
No,
I
it's
gotta tell
awesome.
you, just on a side note real quick, it's been about, I want to say, I'm 58, so at least 31 years since I've done radio at this time of night, because that's how it all started with for me.
Yeah,
was I
you
was
didn't know that, did you?
going to be in radio, and I couldn't make any money in that. So
well, you still
I
can't
had to
make
get
money in
out.
it. You got a hell of a voice, so we're gonna have you on a bunch for sure, and we're gonna talk about more background and some stuff I was reading on the About page about the connection with Ford and going way back. With Alan's story and everything. This is just amazing. Folks, check them out. Garner Customs and Restoration, Bradenton, Florida. Check them out on Facebook. Check them out on their website, garnercars.com. We're talking to Ken Garner. Email him, info@garnercars.com. Ken, you're the best.
Appreciate you being on, man.
Yeah, we're going to do this
first
again.
Guest.
We
You're
did
the
it, first
one.
guest.
Thank you, guys, and look forward to speaking to you in the future.
All right, thanks, Ken. Dude, that was crazy. How could we not close out the show like that? How do folks get in touch with you, Steve?
cas-am performance email, CASAM performance @sbcglobal.net. Don't forget, please email me on this W32 stuff because I want to speak correctly. So I need you guys out there to kind of educate me a little bit on the 69, 70. Let's get it right. I want all the right facts.
We're the big community. Let's do it.
Don't be going on.
Make some friends.
Listen, don't be going on the internet and going on 442.com and reading stuff to me from there. I want you to be an expert in this field. Period.
That's it.
Yeah.
We're closing now like that?
Yeah.
Rocket Radio.
I want the right
Dr.
stuff,
J,
baby.
Steve Minore, Rocket Radio, Rocket Report, cas-am Performance.
That's it.
We did
Calling
it
it
again.
a night.
Episode
Calling it a
4.
night.
I have no notes for episode 5, so
That's
we're
right.
actually going to take a week off. We're going to regroup, come up with some new
I got to
stuff.
give Jay a break. He's doing a
That's
great
right. We're
job.
going to put together all those emails, and we're
Yep.
going to come back and get super technical on you, get this thing back on the rails.
Rock and roll.
You're the best, brother.
Do it.
Peace.
Out.